It's like a litty version of the podcast for you. It's like a highlight, like the highlight subjects.
Well, I mean, when we talk about music, so 'cause we don't always have artists on that are musicians. So we bring in like wrestlers, we bring in people that act, dancers, film videographers. So we bring in any type of hustler, right? But I preferably like it when it's artists
Mm.
because it's my niche. So I know how to go off on it. I like when producers come on and we could talk about like you know engineering things like mixing and all that, like when they're talking about different softwares they use, like, oh, I use Logic, oh, okay, I use Fruity Loops, or I use, I like talking about that because that's my niche. That's what I know what to talk about. But when an actor comes on, I'm like, so have you met Ryan Reynolds yet? Like, I don't know where to go off on it. So music is really my niche.
Yeah, I feel that a little bit. There was one actor lady that came on, like somewhere like episode 10 or something, and I had nothing to comment in the comment section because I was just like, well, that's informative for about 35 minutes. And I'm like, I watched it. I just didn't know what to say in response to any of it.
Imagine you're watching it and you don't know what to say. I'm there and I don't know what to say sometimes. But thank God it's like we're three people hosting the show, because like if it was just one on one, some of these episodes would be so boring.
Honestly, I think you would pull it off. Yeah, I would just like figure it out, and you would just have a couple moments. Like I'm certain there's moments here and there, but like usually you just figure it out, and he just stays and rolls. You know.
I mean, if I was in charge of this channel on YouTube, the Hustle Podcast, I wouldn't have gone that route. If I had like the cameras and like the microphones and all the setup that they got, I would have gone a completely different route. I mean, the podcast is like the initial part of it, but I would do like segments, right? So you would have like the tech segment or the Talia segment, the Steve segment. So we all talk about or do something related to our niche, where like the Talia segment is I'm reviewing artists' music, and then there's the tech segment where he's, you know, um, I don't know, radio show host shit. I don't know what he does.
It's
Radio show.
hilarious.
And
It's
then there's like
funny.
the Steve segment, like have little episodes other than just podcast sitting down at a table, because it gets repetitive and boring. And I've been trying to like steer them that way, like, yo, let's bake something for fuck's sake. So let's do an episode where we're baking shit and getting baked. Like, I don't know, like let's do something different. Think outside the box.
Yo,
We have
that's a
all these
whole show though. Getting baked
that
while baking.
yeah. Me and my girl were thinking about doing that. We want to
Run
get
it.
GoPros.
Yo,
We want to
run
get
that.
GoPros, get fucking baked, and we're gonna call what did we say? Baked, getting baked while baking, and then there was like a slogan. There was the perfect slogan, and I don't remember what we had said.
Getting baked while slogan making.
Everything's baked. That was the slogan. Everything's
Mmm.
baked.
That's pretty good. Yeah, but that
Yeah,
kind of shit's wildly cool.
yeah.
I
I
have
think we
learned
actually.
I've learned a lot about segments recently and how powerful they can be depending on like I guess what you're going for with it, like especially YouTube. YouTube seems to like a lot of that shit.
Yeah, like I binge watch on YouTube. Okay, so I watched like uh one channel specifically is called The Cut. And basically, like what they do is they do lineup segments. So they line up people in a room and they have one person in the middle of the room, and you have to guess, like, for example, whose outfit does this belong to? And then she has to give the outfits to people. Or like, who's gay, who's not gay? And then she has to guess who's gay. And it's like, who's a virgin, who's not a virgin, and they have to guess who's. So it's like segments where they do that, and then they have other segments where they play fear pong. So they play beer pong, and they have to like do theirs in between. Or they have other segments where they're sitting at a table and they're taking shots and they're doing like do or drink. And these different segments are good in the sense that, like, one, you have a lot more to show to your audience, but you also have a lot more for them to pick. So if you're the type of person that goes on YouTube to watch podcasts, you're going to want to watch all the podcast segments. But if you're the type of person to go on YouTube to watch people doing dumb shit with their friends, you're going to want to watch the dumb shit with your friends segments. So if you have 3 cameras that you film a podcast with, and you have a giant studio with mad room to do whatever your mind could think of, why are you going to settle on just doing the podcast all the time? Why not think outside the box? Create a different, category for different people in the audience.
Mm. Yo, that's a lot to think about. Because, the podcast is cool, but the variety show element's also cool. Like, as you were saying that, my brain's going like, yo, where is the English hip hop Montreal variety show, weird show shit? Like the pie in the face show.
Hey, bro. Like, what if we did like a segment where we bring on 3 rappers from Montreal and they have to do like a freestyle battle, and whoever sucks gets a pie to the face. Okay, next it's down to the final 2. The other one, pie to the face. Like,
Fuck me.
stupid shit is entertaining that people want to watch. This was just a dumb idea on the fly. But if we really like took the time, sat down, we're 4 heads. It's me, Tech, Steve, and Lambros. If we sat down and really brainstormed ideas, we can like take this to a whole other level.
Yo, this
And we're
sounds so nifty as fuck, though. I mean, I could see the conflict of interest in like the potential branding of like what they're going for with the Hustle podcast, all things considered. Like, I really fucks with this show. Like, I am
yeah,
100% this demo that is like, yo, say word, hold on, do that, but don't also take away what you guys do, because I really like that.
yeah, never. But the thing is, like, I feel like this is where our age gap comes into play, right?
Mm.
Because they're
Facts.
older, I'm older.
I'm text
And
age, so I get it.
yeah, and like the age gap makes a huge difference because what they're watching compared to what my generation's watching is not the same thing. And they're very headstrong on like, no, Talia, I don't like that idea. No, Talia, I don't like that idea. But I'm like, bro, listen to me. I know what's popping off right now. I know what people want to watch. And it's like the podcast itself will remain the podcast itself. We will always do the podcast. That's the main point of the show. But hear me out when I say let's try a different segment. Let's give Tech his own segment. Let's give me my own segment. Let's give Steve his own segment. Try it out. See what's going to pop off. And you're going to see you're going to get different numbers per segment because there's a different niche per audience member, right? So like we all have our niches. Not everyone wants to watch a podcast, but like you like to watch podcasts, I personally do not sit through podcasts. I host it. I don't watch. I don't listen to them.
I mean, I'm biased though, and we gotta throw that out there. Look what I do. It's like selfish interest to like A, watch Montreal shit, and B, like how are other people podcasting? Like, so I don't know if I'm like the fairest person to like even compare against, because I don't even watch this shit 100% for fun. I just kind of like it because I find it interesting. Like the Jonathan Emile episode was fucking amazing to me. It was like, oh, say word, that guy is really cool, and I didn't know
Oh
that.
my god, it was it that episode I almost cried. There was one episode where I almost cried. I think. Oh no, it was with the what was his name? James Jesse Bell or something. Jordan Bell. Oh my god, I almost cried on that episode.
So like, I mean, there's a lot of power in the format for storytelling when it's like litty, but at the other end of it, I realize like I think you're right because of what I do, right? Like I really do a lot of this long form content, and it's not lost on me how not litty it is for a lot of people's lives. Like hell, even I'm trying to keep up with 2 fucking Montreal podcasts, and I'm dying every week just to watch 2 episodes that are like an hour long each week. So it's like
Yeah.
I kind of feel what you're saying.